Hi, thanks for tuning in to my review of The Dark Knight. So, before I start this review, let me just say a few things. One is that I'm a huge Batman fan. Basically, the only superhero that I like only a slight bit more than Batman is Spider-Man. And I really enjoy the Joker. He's basically my favorite villain of all time. No villain can really compare to the Joker. He's such a beautiful contrast to Batman. So I've watched the making of this movie for a little bit, and to be perfectly honest, I will to be blunt, I was very 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 surprised and somewhat worried when they cast Heath Ledger to play the Joker. I thought he really couldn't pull off it. I really hoped that they would have at least had Mark Hamill be somehow involved, because I think that Mark Hamill was the greatest Batman actor of all. But when I saw the trailer, it was really able the real trailer, not this teaser. I was able to be sold off that Heath Ledger was really going to do justice to the Joker. So when I saw this movie, I really really and so when I finally was able to see this movie, I had heard it was great, but when I personally saw it, I was just amazed. Now, this movie is based off of two comics, Batman the Killing Joke and Batman the Long Halloween, which I both have. And they're both real great. And this movie really not only takes the greatest parts of that, well, not the greatest parts exactly, but a lot of the themes and the ideas behind it, but also mixes its own ideas and interpretations and grounds it in more realism than either comic really had, which is really good for this type of character. You can't really have Spider-Man be realistic, or you can't have an Iron Man only is realistic in a certain degree. But they but they were but Christopher Nolan was really able to pull it off. And I also really have to give the comments to David Goyer, who wrote the story for The Dark Knight, and it really is a great story. The Dark Knight overall is just such a great movie. Like all the actors play the movie so well, their characters. You really don't even know that they're acting really in this movie. You just can get these characters. And especially the character especially Batman, the Joker, and Harvey Dent, which is really really great. I will have to say though that for a movie that's so universally praised, I do have some problems with it. My one biggest problem is the fact that Harvey Dent being Two-Face is kind of like the Venom syndrome, in which you only see the villain at the very end of the movie. Now, this can work in some ways, it really worked well in both Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. And it does work here, but it's just at the same time I'm mad that he was so underplayed, as I had expected that he wouldn't appear until the third Batman installment from the Nolan franchise. But I'll keep on hoping. My one other complaint really has to do with the bat suit in this one. Now the Batman movies have always had problems really just nailing the bat suit down. But to be perfectly honest, this suit really I can't say that this suit is really bad. It seems so much like an army suit to me. And the thing that Frank Miller and Jeff Lowe really were able to express very well for the Batman is that Batman's suit adds this whole element of fear. It's Batman's supposed to strike fear into criminals. When you're seeing Batman in this suit, it looks more like you're afraid of a soldier than you're afraid of Batman. Although I did like how they added the white radar scopes at the end to make him look more like the comics than before. And I do like the aesthetics for this movie. It really looks like it, and I like how the idea of the Joker wearing makeup was kind of a bit another one of those things I was shaky on, but it actually worked out very well for me. And of course, Heath Ledger did an unbelievably great job. I definitely think he deserves at least an Oscar nomination, and I really think this movie would have definitely marked his launched his career to the sky if he hadn't died. That's enough said. Although I will say that probably it's going to be a hard decision, but I might have to lean more to Mark Hamill still for being the best Joker, but that's only a very small margin. Both actors have been able to really nail the character down. And if you're wondering when Mark Hamill played the character, he was the voice of it on the Batman the Animated Series. Now I know what you're thinking right now, but I'll I'll post a review of Batman Mask of the Phantasm soon after. And I think I'll also make a review of my top 5 Batman movies. From overall rating, I give The Dark Knight 5 stars. So, please see my other reviews. With my last comment, I'll definitely say that this movie is, without a doubt, the best Batman movie made, and I really have no doubt saying comfortably that this was the best comic movie of them all for the year.